Good evening, YouTube. Well, uh, I've nearly been down here now, as good as damn it. 24 hours on the new pitch. Well, the old new pitch is where I come back every year now. But yeah, so the first night went well. My canopy has withheld the first sort of rain, but it wasn't too windy. That one pole there that I could have put up temporarily on the table, that did come down earlier on this afternoon. But, I knew that was going to happen. That's not fixed in any secure manner whatsoever. So I had my bit of fire going, just dying down now. So I made myself a cup of coffee on it. So I've got to work out some kind of frame. Now, I've got so many tent poles I don't use anymore. I'm thinking there's got to be a way. Talking to my wife, Sally, earlier on Messenger, and she said you need some stones to put around there so you can, but there's no stones, there's no rocks, there's nothing around here that I can use for that. So eventually I'll have to buy some kind of frame, or I don't know, make some kind of frame out of all the poles I've got. Not quite sure. I'm not short of poles. When I originally wanted some sticks for that, spoke to a friend of mine, and he came up with 2 sets of sort of large tent poles. I thought, thanks very much, yeah, that'll do the job and do the job. And of course then I realised, hang on a minute, I've got about 50 or 60 of those hanging around from old tents and gazebos and God knows what. So yeah, I've got poles, obviously not the fiberglass ones, obviously not going to use those there, but I've got metal poles, and I'm thinking surely there's got to be a way. But it would work if I could put some stones in a circle and then put a bit of a framework from those poles across it. Because I'm struggling at the moment to boil water. I just use a frying pan, of course that's got a plastic handle, so that's not ideal. I've got the camping saucepan, and that's small, so that wobbles all around the place. So I've got to think of something. I don't know what. Some kind of framework for it. Anyway, that's something for the future. I know I get paid. I keep on about this, but I get paid the day after tomorrow. I'm so looking forward to it. I've already had the pay slip through, so I know what I'm getting, so I'm going to be a happy boy. What happens, because there's a certain amount you have to earn before you start paying tax in this country, and I normally just about get to that level, or not quite, or just over. So what happens normally, if they tax me, I get a tax rebate sort of April next year. But what's happened, sometimes they realise and don't tax me. Obviously I pay the national insurance and pension and all that sort of stuff, that goes out, but I didn't actually pay any tax this time, so that's helped a lot. So I'm not going to give numbers or figures because obviously that's private, but I'm going to be doing okay because I'm doing so many hours. Maybe next month they'll tax me once, because sometimes they take it off sort of an average. I'm not quite sure how it works out, but what normally happens is after 1 month or 2 months they do start thumping me with the tax, and I always, because I now know I do get that back, so it's not the end of the world. It's like a bit of a savings account, isn't it? So I get a lump sum back next year, and I actually got last year quite a bit, and if I hadn't have had that, I'd have been struggling even more than I'm struggling now. In fact, I'm not quite sure how I'd have survived. I'd have probably had to sell my new bike or my motorbike and sidecar or something, which I was desperate not to do. So the good thing is, when I go back, as I said before, I've got everything I need now as far as transport goes in the Philippines. I am saving because eventually I want my apartment built, or some kind of shack built, or something for my own space. But that's in the near future. But say in the next 3-4 years that will be done. But in the meantime, I've got to save my pension. What I have realised now is I'm paying into a pension with the company. It's the work something pension, isn't it? I think it's called. I'm not quite sure what it is. So never had that with the agency for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure. Didn't seem to have that. So what's happening now is I am, and it's quite a chunk that goes out, I've realised, which is okay, as long as, that's going to help me out when I get to retire in just over 5 years time, 5.5 years time. So things are going to be looking a bit brighter then. At the moment, I've got 3 days. Well, I'm on my second day now of hardly speaking. Well, not really speaking to anybody. Quick word with the landlord yesterday when I was taking everything down, and when I came down here, one of the other campers came by and had a quick chat. But, you know, so apart from that, I don't see a soul. I'm not going to town to buy anything. I'm just hanging around now, trying to think of ways how to organise that with my making my coffee, which I just did, and it sort of worked, but it wasn't hot coffee. It was you know, a bit of milk in it. It was just about drinkable. So if anybody knows of a way I can do it, please don't say put stones in a circle, because I haven't got any. That would be the ideal. Stones in a circle, these 10 poles across, and there you go. There you have it. I haven't got anything like that, and I'm looking around me now thinking I must have something. Just don't know. Another way would be a couple of big logs, wouldn't it, either side of it, and put the poles across. That would be another one, but there's just nothing here. There used to be, like I said before, the metal wheels, vehicles from cars or vans or whatever they were from. They used to be scattered around you. I can't seem to find one. So you would put all the wood and everything in those, and charcoal or coals or whatever you're using, which I'm not at the moment because I haven't got any, but I have been scrounging wood from the area, so I've got a bit of a pile started there, and I've just burned quite a bit of it to make my coffee. So this tree that I'm actually camping under does have a lot of dead stuff in it, which I've had most of it now, and there's I think it's a beech, is it? I'm not really up on trees. Oh, well, I am on fruit trees, obviously, from, you know, but not on this kind of tree. I think it's a beech tree, and they do tend to provide quite a bit of old wood, dead wood from them. So, and there's plenty of those around. So I'm just going to go scavenging most days when I'm here to start my fires with, and eventually I'm going to have, I don't know, coal or I don't know what I want to use, or just charcoal. Good thing about charcoal, then it glows, and then you put the flame on top of it, and you can do a bit of a barbecue, and you can do your frying on there and everything, can't you? So I need, like I said, I need a proper camping saucepan. I need some proper camping frying pans, if you like. My frying pans have all got plastic handles to them, so you've got to be very careful with that, otherwise the handles will just be melting, won't they, and dropping off. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. This is just a very quick update on how things are going. The tent's good. I attached that there. I said yesterday I wasn't quite sure what to do, so there's sort of loops on this top here, which I've just got some bits of string or whatever, and just tied it to there temporarily so it can come down in the night time. So when it did rain, and I was actually in the tent having a snooze when it was raining, and everything's come out and everything's bone dry, so that's the main thing. But down there, where I come in and out of the tent last year, was just a mess. It really was. So I'm actually thinking, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do, but buy a sack of gravel. You can get from the builders market, or you can get from the garden centres and that, and just a small sack, and just spread it out down there. I'm sure that would be okay. So I can keep that part really dry. Yeah, that's about it for now. So everybody take care. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.